Yeah, so it's called Headphone Disco, headphonedisco.com.au. It's like, they're like silent disco, the headphones that you put on, we do parties. I recently started actually during COVID, doing small orders, putting them into boxes, sending them out to people so they can use and you play their own music. But now it's gotten to a point where now I'm doing full shows, for universities and kids, if they want a 5,000, or 500, person disco party, well, we'll get DJs out there. They can talk between the musics. They can have a good time. And so quite a few things that I have planned that I can't say quite yet until I actually nail the market first. But there are bigger things coming with this, things across Australia, actually. So I'm very excited for that.
Wow. I feel so small now.
Oh my gosh! No.
This is like, it's inspiring, man. It's inspiring to see how can you be so like versatile. Like how can you diversify like your effort, your energy. Because what I want to get now, like this is just the start, guys. Because what I want to get now, and that's how I met you, and that's I guess for your public figure, that's probably the main thing. It's like you as an actor, like you out there in the media, on TV, commercials and stuff like that.
Everything.
So can you run us through, since you start that, does that have anything to do with you coming to Australia? How does that work?
Yeah, so that honestly, that is a great question, because I think a lot of people just see what it is, but they don't really know the backstory behind it. So as mentioned, I moved to Australia about 5 years ago. I came to the country for 3 reasons, right? There were 3 reasons why I came to Australia. The first reason was...
A boyfriend.
Oh my God, no. It didn't exist then. Did not exist then. I was only focused on myself at that point in time. But there are 3 reasons. The first reason was the weather was good year round. Right, and that's one thing. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio originally, and so I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. Grew up in Washington D.C.
Oh, wow.
Cold as.
Very cold. It's snowing there. My mom sent me a video today, and it's like 2 feet of snow where we're at, and I'm like, oh my God, I do not miss it. But so the first reason was I came because the weather is good year round. Australia has a great economy.
It does.
And the third reason is they speak English, which I can negotiate in, which is so good. So those are the top 3 reasons ultimately. But I went to Notre Dame. I was a track and field athlete, former gold medalist in track and field for 400-meter hurdles. And I went for international business and global marketing. And I came here to further my career in that. And that was my focus. And when I first came here, within the first 6 months, I've accomplished what I wanted to do originally. And that happened. So then the post 6 months on my 1-year working holiday visa that I had, I was like, well, what do I do next? What do you do now that you've accomplished the goal that you really wanted to set your dreams out for? What do you do next? So then, I started, I worked for IKEA of Australia. I worked for KFC Australia. I worked on all marketing teams. I've then worked on a company called Carlton United Breweries. It was an marketing agency called Clemenger BBDO. I was stationed in Melbourne, which is really fun, working on ad campaigns, everything, from TV commercials down to, POS, point of sale stuff in the stores.
Media buyer?
Yeah, did everything. Right. I have done so much. And now it's gotten to a point where, my big creative background was focusing on how do you build creative things. I once built a KFC in the middle of the Australian desert in Birdsville. And we served chicken and chips to 10,000 people during the Big Red Bash, and that's fun. We practically bought a semi-truck, fitted it out into a folding out KFC restaurant, had a slide that came off the top of it. And that was something that started my building career in Australia, right? And that obviously comes from, it's skyrocketed since then, because now we have the inflatable theme park that tours across. We have bigger productions that we've worked on. And but I did that, and then after I left Carlton United Breweries, I went straight into COVID kind of happened around that time, and then I was like, well, what do I do during COVID? What do people actually do? The jobs are closing, you can't go into office, you're not working from home, and I'm like, you know what? What's one thing that's still happening during COVID? It's television. Everyone's streaming something, everyone's watching something, the news are happening. Suddenly acting became an essential work to do. So now I could find myself going on set, getting, having a COVID test prior to going. And suddenly now I can do all these things whilst, making money, but also now getting your face out there in the whole acting scene. And the big gig I've landed was the face of Telstra. Telstra is a national telecommunications company, probably the best one here in Australia. And I became the face of that. And it was on billboards and bus stops and TV ads.
I've seen you.
Yeah.
I think I've seen you.
You would have seen
You're
it.
saying that now. I think I've seen you.
And my face was everywhere. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, my agent was like, hey, the company client wants you to do this, client wants you to do that. Can you do this? Can you do that? And suddenly it came in. But it was like, oh my God, did Australia just discover diversity? And so I'm like, this might be a thing. So yeah, and kind of the rest is history from there. And now I'm kind of just doing kind of a bit of everything.
Awesome. So now you're more into the commercial. Like, are you gonna ever adventure in the acting? Because I know Sandra, are you in the acting mode, right, Sandra? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sandra's got a lot of experience in the acting world.
Right.
She has.
Yeah, I did graduate acting college. I have a BA honors in it. Got a scholarship recently for the New York Conservatory of Dramatic Arts to study film and TV there. But I'm not going to go. That's another story for another podcast.
Oh I love it.
Yes,
I love it. Seasoned to perfection over here, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's not an easy industry to crack into. You need to get inside the bubble.
Oh,
Wherever
absolutely.
you go, like, similar to you, I lived in 10 countries in the past 10 years. And in every single country, I kind of managed to, like, I had the same goal.
Yeah.
Get on set, meet the people, because that's what I knew.
Networking.
That's what I did until I woke up in China with an acting degree. And I was like, okay, it's time to reinvent myself, because it's not, everybody was like, oh, yeah, we can get you acting. Do you speak Mandarin? And I was like,
I can if you'd like.
No, can we do voiceovers? No? Okay, no, that's not going to work. Right, so it's a hard industry to crack into, and you've cracked into. When would you say the Telstra was what brought you inside the bubble?
Oh yeah, 100%.
That
Like,
was
yeah,
it?
thank you to everyone out there.
Like
the casting directors, my agent.
Like, what was your big break? That was your big break.
I think the big break into the commercial acting side of things, like having a very commercialized face, that Telstra was definitely it. But I think, and I can't forget, the first reality show I've ever done actually was called Miss Multiverse Australia, which is streaming on Amazon Prime at the moment. It's season 1. We just finished season 2 less than 2 weeks ago. So season 2 is coming out soon. Very exciting.
So what is your role in?
I'm a host. I'm a judge and host on the show. So I ultimately, there's about 20 different female contestants. They're all battling to be crowned Miss Multiverse Australia. And the whole show is about the different series of challenges that the girls have to go through and showing how well versed they can be and how multifaceted a woman can be. And it's based on photo shoots. It's based on, if you can run a business. It has IQ tests. It has physical fitness challenges in there. So it's not just a beauty competition, but it's a well-rounded competition of how to find that perfect, well-rounded woman. So yeah, I was asked to come back for season 2. I'm the only person who actually has kind of connected, has been asked to come back from season 1. So season 1, guys, I love you. But yeah, so season 2, we just wrapped, and I'm so excited for this to come out. And at the moment, it's in post-production, so they've just started editing yesterday.
So how many years have you been in Australia?
I've been here for 5 years.
5
Yeah,
years.
5 years in Australia. And I just got my permanent residency officially.
Me too.
So high five to that.
Literally yesterday.
Oh my God, congratulations.
There we go.
Oh, I know the feeling.
And
But yeah, it's been fun, and now, and just to try to look at the time now, because within the next 2 hours, I'm actually filming another. I'm actually going more into acting now.
Yeah.
So I am. I'm filming a show called quite a few things. Oh my God, actually. What's the name of the show? Catherine Tate. Queen of Oz. So I'm working with Catherine Tate on The Queen of Oz. Catherine Tate is this big British comedian actor, and she does a lot of fun things. So I've recently found myself doing comedy lately. So we have a few things with her. And also working on a few other shows that I can't talk about quite yet.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, I don't think you can tell us too much.
Can't say too much, but yeah, we'll get the things that we're allowed to talk about out now. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like very ignorant now, because I knew you, and I'm the type of person so we met at this event in Sydney, right, guys? So
yes.
As we spoke on the first episode with Bav, we've been going to these high society, high level, events and gala events, and around Sydney, like the best events, and like we meet the best people, the most important people. And every time you get to an event, the atmosphere changes.
Oh, absolutely.
And people, and I feel like where the attention is, the success is. And when I look at you at the events, you have so many people coming up to you, and your energy, you're very humble,
Thank you.
First time I approached you, I was like, I don't really know how to approach this guy because like he's always busy talking to someone. But one day I managed to talk to you, and like
You've managed to get me sitting down in a chair next to you right now.
For the first time, I managed you walking by yourself down the hallway next to the stairs. And I'm like, I'm gonna approach him. I'm gonna say hi. And when I said hi, you said 1,000 things, and I was like, wow, this guy is amazing.